were lucky enough to secure some funding to conserve 8 of our 18 mining banners in the Woodhorn collection. We needed to do this. It became a critical kind of moment because we have space to display 4 to 5 of our banners at any one time here at Woodhorn. And so when they're out on display, they're exposed to light, they're exposed to humidity and heat. And over time, this makes the materials that they're made of deteriorate. And so we need to constantly be condition checking them and making sure that we are conserving them for future generations and that we can continue to display them here at the museum.
So the North Wall Bottle banner is one of the 8 banners that I'm working on. With this banner in particular, it's a silk damask, so it is showing signs of age and it has previously split and been repaired, and we're seeing new splits occurring. The different sort of techniques we're using with some of the banners, especially the silk ones, we're doing what we like to call a net sandwich, which is dyeing some conservation net to colour match the main colour of the banner and putting that on both sides, so the banner is the filling in the middle of the sandwich. The edges are really at risk of wearing away the silk. They sort of butt up and rub against each other. And that is why on a lot of banners you'll see that sort of separation between the textile and the painted area. And that happens mainly in the central roundel. And then it also happens along the top and the bottom of these scroll works where the writing is. And then you also have historic fixes that people have tried to help the banner with masking tape, sellotape, gaffer tape in some cases, which is lovely and good job, you know, for seeing the problem and trying to do something about it. But then we, as conservators, have to sort of look at that and try and work out if it's important for the story of the object or whether it's doing more damage than good and we need to remove it and replace it with something conservation friendly to take it further another 100 years.
Woodhorn Museum is the only museum that houses all of the surviving Northumberland miners' banners. In their heyday, there would have been hundreds of these banners. They have a very long history with the trade union movement and in particular the mining industry in the northeast. From the 1860s, which was the decade of the first Northumberland Miners' Picnic, they became synonymous with that annual celebration of local mining traditions.
The end goal is preservation. If I was to make it look like new, that would be restoration, and it would totally wipe out the story of an object. What we do as conservators is look at an object in the first instance and try and figure out its life history and give damage a story, so we create an importance to it. And with banners, they've been paraded, they've been put on show, they've been hung. And all of that is incredibly important, date-wise, people-wise. So they're an incredible piece of social history and we don't want to take any of that out of it. What we'd do is make sure that any damage is secured so it's not going to get worse. Stitching bits back together or lining them with net, glue down bits that are popping up. But everything that we do as conservators has to be undoable, create that longevity and legacy, really.
The oldest banner in the collection is the North Wall Bottle banner. Part of it dates to kind of Victorian period. It has a beautiful painted panel on it and it has a lot of imagery related to Freemasonry. That and Methodist symbols, which are both kind of important strands of the mining community, they feature on a lot of the banners as well.
My grandfather was a strong union man. Believed in unions, and when it came to picnic day, he was always involved in either carrying the banner or walking with the banner. And I have particularly happy memories of the miners' picnics. And we would walk all the way up the main street and we would obviously be in a procession of bands and banners, and at the time there was clearly a lot of mines in Northumberland, so the procession was actually quite long.
The conservation care that goes into these banners provides this real vibrancy and sort of, it brings colour back to the painted areas and the silk areas. It's almost like the banners sort of wake up and come back to life.
It would be sad for us to lose the history and the heritage that's captured in the miners' banners. Each one has some aspect of our history shown on it. It would be sad to lose that graft that's in the banners and also that heritage that's portrayed there.
I feel continually really privileged to be asked to do the work on the banners because that's so important to the area. So to be able to care for the banners is my sort of contribution to that mining legacy, you know. And to see them on the banner ramp here at Woodhorn is just marvellous. It brings me a lot of joy to be able to do this job.
So we really hope that people will continue to come to Woodhorn to see these beautiful banners. They are the original objects and they continue to be a source of pride for the local community. So do come and see them.